Alright, so these are the mysterious stone spheres of Costa Rica. They're found all over the place throughout there, buried sometimes deep in the jungle, and the people of Costa Rica take great pride in these giant spheres. No one knows where they're from or who made them, and so that's why they're so mysterious, because there wasn't really a civilization that would be making those. And they're like, why would they make just these giant spheres for no reason? Now, this one was found in Bolivia, too. Well, I think I have an answer for it. And if you pay attention to these pictures, as another one, I want to show you guys something that I think will solve this riddle, these mysterious stones of Costa Rica. The answer comes from Romania, all right? I know it seems weird, but just hear me out. So here we have Trivanti in Romania. These are growing stones. These stones grow these polyp-like appendages, and they grow into giant spheres. And they have them all over the world. You see that? And it's a mixture of concretion, and like when you get the water gets through these porous cracks and stuff, it actually causes the stones to grow. And they grow in these weird forms like that, but these spherical forms and stuff. And I think that a lot of these spheres are, in fact, just that. And, I mean, they really, really do look very, very similar. Here's some little ones. You can find this all over the world. Here's some more. This is another, thing of concretion and stuff. Trivantes. These are giant Trivantes. These stones grow. They get bigger. Is that crazy or what? See, like that, right into the sediment. You pop like little spheres right out of it. See, you can see how the brown is the actual stone, and then the gray over it is the porous stuff that grows off of it and then breaks off as it gets bigger. I think this would explain a lot of different mysteries in our past or whatever. Like these right here, these ooparts. Michael Cremo talked about these billion-year-old spheres and stuff like that, and these crazy ooparts or whatever, but I think they're really just other types of Trivantes. Look how these ones grow. It's like when the water mixes in with them, they grow into these spheres. I mean, look at that. It's obviously the same thing. Like this UFO. See that? It's just like another type of Trivante. Is that cool or what? Yeah, I came across this a long time ago when I made my video about Sacsayhuaman, which I believe some of those stones might be the same thing. Look how it grows right into it. And it makes sense that we would use stuff like that for slings back in the day. Instead of carving perfect little stones into spheres, that we would just gather a bunch of them from these Trivantes. You got to look at how things match up and what they could, stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. This kind of matches up, I think. I think it's kind of neat. Next, we're going to be discussing the Olmecs Civilization. This is a civilization that comes before every other South and Central American civilization. They were the first one. They were the precursors to the Mayans, the Aztecs, to everybody. The guys who make the giant colossal heads that you see here, these are the Olmecs. And what I say is that there's a good chance that these are in fact black people and not Mexicans. Obviously they look black, but I mean there are some people from Central America who do kind of resemble some of the big stone heads, but for the most part, when I look at them, I see a black man. Like this. These are what they say, the Olmecs, and they look kind of similar, but when we look past that and look for other evidence, there's some shit that'll blow your mind. Let's look at the hair, for instance. This is the back of the Olmec heads. They have cornrows, all right? I don't know how many Mexicans you know with cornrows, but I'm just saying that's like, look at this guy. This is another Olmec statue. That is an afro. I'm sorry. Look at, yeah, that's definitely a Mexican woman, right? Come on. That is a black woman. What about that? Look at the hair. That is a black woman. None of these styles are, look at that. That's a little black baby with a little black mohawk right there. Sorry, that's what it is. Face it. Oh, look at this ancient alien dude. Black dude. Olmec, by the way. Look at these. You know, I think they have some kind of mix between African Americans and like and Orientals, and that's what the race is. And look, I also noticed Olmecs, they came up with the ball game that the Mayans played. The Olmecs created it. I'm just saying, black people are known to be ballers. Look at these paintings. See, it's like even the Mayans notice it. And like when Columbus and conquistadors, not Columbus, but conquistadors and stuff arrived, they found that the Mexicans, the Central Americans, and the South Americans, the people there already were like, oh yeah, the black people, they recognize them, but they didn't recognize the white people. They're like, they're like, hey, what up, man? But the black people, or the white people, they're like, you freaky ghost people scare me. All right. This is a portrait of an Incan nobleman and his sons. This was painted by a native Andean painter named Andres Sanchez Galecu. This was in 1599. The Incan are depicted wearing Spanish clothing, but with Incan gold adornments, on their faces, obviously, you can see. And their names have the prefix of Don, which means like Lord or gentleman or whatever. Now, are you going to sit there and tell me that these guys are native Peruvians? That's what if you go to Peru, that's what they look like down there. Fuck you. I mean, we've got to just come to reality that there was a advanced race of black people that apparently could travel the world. And I think that they mixed with a couple different races so you get Olmecs and stuff like that. I mean, it's just so funny how we totally deny that black people could do anything great. Like, they didn't build any megalithic structures, or they didn't have any big civilization or advanced civilization, that they were always just like living in the bush hunting lions and shit like that. That's what it's come down to. Now, if you've been on my YouTube page before or seen any of my videos, you might know that I believe that ancient Egypt was in fact created by black people, that the ancient Egyptians were black people, not Arabs. All right, I believe that the Arabs took over Egypt and took over that stuff and took it from black people. But I don't believe that they built it or had anything to do with it. It was constructed by black men. And Ramses the Great was a black man. And there's so much evidence, supporting this. Why people deny it just blows my fucking mind. Take this guy, for instance, all right? This black man and his crazy fucking hairstyle. Now, that seems completely fucking nuts, but this is an ancient tradition that goes back thousands of years that these people claim, and that it goes back to the times of the Egyptians and stuff. And when you look at the evidence, you can say, well, oh my God, that does make a little sense. Like, let's take a look at this. So what, is that just a fucking coincidence? Is that what you think? You think that's just a fucking coincidence that has nothing in common with each other, huh? Really? Really? Now, this is a bust of Meritaten. That's King Tutankhamun's sister. All right, I don't know if you guys know that, but King Tut had a sister, and this is his sister, Meritaten, and she has an elongated skull. All right, now look at these women. See? All right. Black people were known to elongate their skulls. However, Arabs never were. Look how the Olmec head and the Sphinx look alike. Isn't that crazy? Now look at this mummy from ancient Egypt. Yep, that's definitely an Arab.